This is a Coast Guard certified vessel, so the Coast Guard requires us to go over a few safety features that we have on board. Right on top of the roof there's 2 floataway life rafts. Okay, you can't see them, but they're there. We check every day. They automatically deploy for some reason this vessel should sink. In these 2 compartments, right there in the middle, the one up front on the left-hand side, the port side of the boat, are life jackets. All 3 of those boxes are unlocked. For some reason we would need them, we'd pass them out to you. Just put them over your head, there's a clip, goes around the waist, clips in. Fire extinguishers and first aid are in the forward portion of that box right there. First aid is underneath the seat. There's a man or woman overboard, throw ring buoy right behind the seat here. We have a cooler full of ice. If you have any soft drinks or food you want to keep cold, you can put it right in the cooler. There's a rinse bin for your camera, rinse bin for your mask. Okay, please do not put your mask in the camera bucket, which is the larger of the 2. It says cameras only run on the outside. There's a spray bottle full of defog solution for your mask on the other bucket. Hang in there. Just put a spray or 2 in each lens to rub it in, rinse it out. And a smaller gray bucket. Drinking water and cups are in the back. Help yourself. If I run out of cups, let me know. I do have extras on board. Trash can for the cups. Anything else is in the very back of the boat. We're going to be diving today in the National Marine Sanctuary. So that means there's no touching or collecting of any kind. You can't bring anything back to this boat. Dead or alive, it stays on the reef. You can't collect shells for souvenirs. You definitely can't harass the lobsters. Okay, it is mini season right now, but we cannot lobster off this boat, and we're going to be going to an area where it's closed for lobsters. Okay. Don't hassle the eels, the turtles, the nurse sharks, stuff like that. Just pretty much keep your hands to yourself. Watch your fin kicks. Make sure you're not kicking the reef. Also make sure that your gauges, your octopus, are attached to your BC in some way. That way that stuff isn't dragging over the reef either. Every time we touch the coral or the rock down there, it's all living rock. It breaks the thin, slimy protective coating, and then diseases can get into the coral and stuff, and it kills the reef in a relatively short time. So just please keep, don't touch anything down there. When we get out to the reef, we're going to put a dive flag on the roof of the vessel. That alerts other boats that we have divers in the nearby area. That nearby area is considered somewhere within 150 feet or 50 meters from this boat. So you guys need to stay within 150 feet, 50 meters of this boat. That's about 3 lengths of the boat. That's like from here to the parking lot over there, where those cars are. From here to the trees back there is way too far. Okay, the further away you get from the boat, the less you're going to see. We know where all the good stuff lives out there. We put you right on top of it. Okay, so the good diving is right underneath the boat and just around the edge. Okay, there's no reason to go far. So stay close for your safety, for your enjoyment. There's going to be a lot of boats out there today because it's the 2-day lobster mini season. So everybody who has a boat comes down here and they're out there. It doesn't look busy right now because there's not a lot of boats going here, but it definitely will be once we get out there. I guarantee that. Okay, so stay close. They don't expect you, to pop up 300 feet from the dive flag. Your boats are going pretty fast around there. So stay close to the boat, your safety, and your enjoyment. On the ride out, test everything out, make sure everything is working, breathe off of both your regulators, inflate, deflate your BCD, make sure there's enough air in your tank. That way if there's any problems, we can solve them now, before you jump into the water. Please keep your weights and weight belts on the floor at all times. When we get close to the dive site, we'll give you guys about a 5-minute heads up. At that point, you want to start getting all of your gear on. You pull on your wetsuit if you're wearing one, and your weight belt, your fins, and run into your tanks. You want to get your fins on before your tanks, before the BCDs, because the tanks are locked in. You can't bend over to reach your fins. Fins first, tank last. Once you get everything on, just please remain seated. Don't stand up and walk around with the tank on your back unless the captain or myself is behind you to make sure you don't fall over. When we get to the dive site, we're going to moor up to a mooring ball. Then we'll give you a briefing on where we are, things to look for, things to watch out for. If there's any current, which direction that current's going, so you know which way to swim, preferably up current or against the current on the first part of your dive. We'll determine all that stuff once we get there. It's very important that you pay attention to that because this is not a guided dive. Okay, we are not getting in the water with you. The boat moors, anchors, and stays in one spot. So you need to go out and come back to the boat. Okay, navigate your way around the reef on your own. So pay attention to that, that way you know exactly where to swim once you get into the water. Once the pool is open, we'll take each one of you one at a time to the front of the boat. We may exit off the sides depending on what the current is doing, but no matter where your exit is, We're going to stand you up. You're going to shuffle your feet to it. Don't try to walk, take big steps, or walk backwards or anything like that. Just shuffle your feet. We're going to hold onto your tank. Make sure you don't fall over. Get to the edge, real toes up on the edge. Hold your mask and regulator with one hand. Look straight up to the horizon. Take a big step. And do a giant stride entry into the water. Once you get in, you can swim right up to our mooring line and then use it as a down line. It's attached directly to the bottom. Does anybody not have a buddy? Raise your hand. Okay, stay with your buddies at all times. If you become lost or separated, you need to come to the surface slowly and safely. Everybody comes up, I can help direct you around, make sure you get back together. Nobody dives alone. Okay, just don't assume that they're okay and swimming back to the boat. You need to come up and find out where they are. This is the okay signal on the surface, like this, or like this with one hand. If you see us doing that to you, please do it back to us. Okay, everything else is distress, so those two only. At the end of your dive, come back to the sides. We'll have ladders down on both sides of the boat. Be back on board this boat, the red boat. It's the only red boat on the reef. There's going to be other boats out here that look like this one, like that one over there. It's green. This one is red. Okay, there's no other red boats out there. So come back to the red boat. Within 1 hour, have a minimum of 500 psi left in your tank and your buddy with you. So 1 hour or 500 psi, whichever comes first. You need to keep track of the time and the air. If you don't have a watch, come talk to me, because that way I'll let you know how to be back on board on time. That way the Coast Guard isn't out there looking for you if you're late. When you come back to the sides, take your fins off and nothing else. Leave everything else on. Pass your fins up to us, fin tips up. That way we can reach them. We're hanging on the side trying to ground. Get you back on board, take you to your seat, and then switch your gear over. It's only about 5-10 minutes in between dive sites. Okay, this relatively shallow diving, it's only about 25 to 30 feet. Okay, at these depths, we can spend a little over 200 minutes. So, well within the safety limits for 2 1-hour dives. Please leave the dust caps off the empty tanks so that we know that they're empty. If you have any questions about the weight you need, come talk to me. Pretty good at guessing how much weight you need. Okay, if you get in the water, find out you can't get to the bottom, don't spend the whole hour struggling, just pop your head up, get my attention. I'll do a quick buoyancy check on you, and I'll hand you the appropriate amount of weight you can put right into your BCD zipper pocket. Anything you want to keep dry areas right there where those bags are piled up. Just pile stuff up on top there. Anything underneath the bench is going to get wet. Definitely want to make sure things are stowed, like your hats and your flip-flops, your t-shirts, any kind of plastic bags or water bottles, stuff like that. You don't want to leave them around. And we're going to get underway here. If you guys have any questions, my name is Drew. Once again, that's Captain Raffle. Please ask.
All right.